Hello, my family from wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. Today is a new day. I don't know where you're calling from, so welcome. My calabash of wisdom. My name is Marianne. So, as I told you in the last video, this is my channel. Today, I'm showing you my calabash of decoration. So if you're in Africa and you are in the continent, you are familiar with the gourds. They call it gourd over here. Back home, we call it gourd. So because I have several topics that I'll be covering, I did not want to limit myself to a certain topic. So you can scroll up and down my channel and select the topic that you want to look at. Also, the audience is going to be different. My audience today is mainly the Africans in the diaspora and Africans in the continent. So sometimes we use calabashes for decoration, like this one. I'm from Kenya, so that says Kenya, right? So I'll try and get a collection of calabashes for you to see. So today's topic is Africans versus African Americans, the discussion between us. So this is a follow-up from my previous video. I hope you've had a chance to see it, where I specify that we have been brainwashed, and that's a fact. And I introduced you to this book, Brainwashed by Tom Burrell. You can get this book in the bookstore, Amazon, or audible.com. That book tells us a lot about how our colonizers and how our oppressors have taken advantage of dividing us and creating self-hate and hate among us. They have programmed us to hate ourselves and to hate each other. And they are more afraid about our unity. And therefore, we have to work towards being unified. Because the strength of Africa and African in the diaspora is going to be our unity. And until we realize that, we'll continue bickering and fighting among each other for small things that are not going to help us at all. Instead, the oppressor is going to take advantage of us, laugh at us, and continue taking from us like they already have. So I feel obliged to share what I know and to also introduce you to channels, books that have helped me in my journey, because I am as ignorant as most Africans are about our racial history. And I told you in the previous channel that I did to go out and watch the movie done by Dr. Umar Johnson and Kabaka Mene, Out of Darkness. And you can get that on Amazon Prime Video. Please watch it. It will help you to open up your eyes and give you direction as to where you can start looking. Because if you don't know something, you don't know. You don't know where to look. You don't know what questions to ask. You don't get clarification. So I found it very necessary to watch that video, because it kind of gave me insight to read further and to go and explore. The most important thing we have to do is to study on our own and be aware of what the enemy has been doing and what he is yet to do if we don't do certain things. So I was surprised to know that there are a certain group of people who believe or who think that there is tension between Africans and African Americans, because I wasn't aware of it. The fact is that nobody is perfect. That is a fact. The other fact is that there is good people in every race. And the other fact is that there is bad people in every race. Nobody is perfect. But at the end of the day, for us, Black people, let us be Black first. and forget about the other things that the oppressor could utilize or use against us. Those are called horizontal problems. Tribe, color, those are horizontal problems. There is nothing we can do about being Black. So we have to be Black first, and then we have to look at how we can solve our problems. Education, economics, politics. We can work on those things if we first unite. But if we continue talking about the basic foundation of horizontal issues that cannot be changed, we shall remain there and we shall continue being oppressed. So it's important that all of us take a study about our history. The unfortunate part is that our studies are not in schools. The school system has made sure, of course, the system itself has been established by the oppressor. So the oppressor has written your books, has written your curriculum, is controlling the narrative. So we have to go on our own and find source of information that pertains to us, that relates to us, and is written by people who look like us. So that is why I will continue to share sources of information and lead you on a rabbit hole where you can find information. And this is very helpful, especially for the young people and also for the diasporans who intend or plan to go back to the motherland. So I introduced you to addi.org. The website is ouraddi.org. Let me expound on why I'm giving you that information. Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao is an excellency who has founded this organization. The purpose of it is to reintroduce the Africans in the diaspora back to the continent. And she's done a great job. They have been doing, right now, actually, they did a trip to Ghana where they were taking people over there to see the country, to visit the country, and to meet the people over there. They've also partnered up with AfricanAncestry.com. And what they're doing is, for those who are interested in knowing their DNA and tracing their DNA, Dr. Gina Page is the one in charge of AfricanAncestry.com. This is not the same as Ancestry.com. This one does not sell your DNA. We have had stories where Ancestry.com, the information is not secured. But Dr. Gina Page is working specifically with the diaspora to help them find their ancestry. And what ADDI is doing, they're organizing a trip for those who have found their ancestry to go for a naming session where they can get a new name from the elders in Ghana. The government there has given up some land where they are planning to build Wakanda City in Ghana. And what they are doing is you go there, you meet the elders, they introduce you to the country. They have a naming ceremony where you can choose your name or you can allow the elders to give you a name. And that way you can give up your slave name. See, the other thing is, if we continue perpetuating the slave name, we are just continuing to perpetuate their ancestry. So most African Americans or people in the diaspora are renaming their names back to their ancestors and doing that through AfricanAncestry.com. So if you're interested, that is something you can do. You can go to ouraddi.org, register, and email them about that information. So the thing about we Africans, like I said in my last video, most people don't have a clue what is going on in America. They don't. They haven't met African Americans. They don't know their history. They don't have a clue. They are basically trying to survive and make do with what life has given them. So the most important thing I could say is to all people, we need to know our history. The Africans, we need to start learning the history, our own history, and the history of our brothers and sisters. We need to know what happened during the slave trade, what happened in our Egypt, and where our history was stolen. What happened when the slave owners came to Africa? That's something we just have to do on our own, because if we depend on the system, they're not going to do it. So the other thing to do is to travel. So traveling helps open up your eyes to what you didn't know, or rather confirm what you didn't know or knew, and just gives you an experience of appreciating culture outside your own. It also allows you to see what the media is not telling you, because most people, believe it or not, still think that animals are roaming all over Africa. In fact, the other day, I was showing someone pictures of my family over Christmas and how they had gathered and roasting goat meat. And they were shocked. They were like, wow, is that Africa? I'm like, yeah. And they were like, this just looks like here. It was a backyard. And they were like, this looks just like here. And I'm like, what did you guys expect? You see, for me, I can't understand what they think, because that's all they know. They see animals. The only thing they see on TV is animals. And I realized that really we have a responsibility to educate the masses, to share information about what Africa is not, right? Because the media is telling you what Africa is, and it's our responsibility to show people what Africa is not. So there are people who are doing a great job, and one of them is Wode Maya, W-O-D-E. Maya is M-A-Y-A. He is doing a great job of educating people about Africa. And he studied in China and realized that he had no information about Africa, and he took it upon himself to start traveling from one country to another in Africa, exposing people to what Africa is. And he's really exposed a number of people. He has 1 million subscribers, and people really appreciate him. So I would suggest you also go and subscribe to his channel and see what each country looks like. The countries that he has traveled. He will expose you to the country, the food, the culture, and all that. There's also a lady called Miss Trudy, who happens to be the girlfriend to Wode Maya, and she's also doing the same thing. Miss Trudy is Trudi, I believe, and it's Miss Trudy. So you can continue, and once you start following those channels, you will get other recommendations from that. There's one YouTuber called Go Black to Africa. Go Black to number 2 numeral Africa. Go Black to Africa on YouTube, and you can also listen to he's an African American actually, and he's been traveling around Africa, exposing people to the culture and what have you. So just realize that sometimes ignorance can cause people to be afraid, and because they don't know each other, we get this perceived tension, which I didn't realize myself. So most people the African Americans in the US don't travel much. So I personally hadn't met many African Americans in Africa. I just met one before I came to the US. So I don't know, maybe I wasn't exposed to them, but I do not believe they travel much. Currently, there's a lot of African Americans going to the West, Africa, in Ghana, especially Ghana, Senegal, Sierra Leone, maybe Nigeria and Gambia. But there's not a lot of them that come to East Africa. There is a lady actually called Exodus House, X-O-D-U-S, Exodus House. She's Jamaican, and she moved to Tanzania. And right now what she's doing, she rented a house and she renovated it and is helping people who want to move to Tanzania to relocate in Tanzania. And she does have Zoom calls and consultation. So if you're interested in Tanzania, that would be somebody you can look at. Her YouTube channel again is XODUS House, Exodus House. And in Kenya, there's a lady, Dr. Mumbi, Mumbi, Dr. Mumbi channel. She does some news and mainly spiritual shows, but she also started a show where she does consultation for people who want to travel back to Kenya. And what she does is you subscribe to her channel and you can get access to her contacts. For example, if you need a lawyer, if you need travel agents, stuff like that. Personally, I'm in the US still. What I'm doing, if you watch my other videos, I'm a farmer. I bought land and I'm farming back home in preparation to relocate. So I've taken the step to put my imprints in Africa to buy land, and I'm encouraging people, especially Kenyans, to buy land back in Kenya. And wherever you are from Africa, buy land in your area. You've heard very well the Chinese are moving to Africa. If you don't claim your peace in Africa, we shall wake up one day and they're everywhere. So even Africans in the diaspora that plan to go to Africa, if you can, buy land. Let the land wait on you, because you don't know how far and how fast these Chinese are going to go. And unfortunately, our leaders are allowing it. We don't have control over that. So, but the more of us go over there, the more you come over to Africa, the more we unite, the stronger we are, and we are able to stand up against the government. But if we don't do anything, then we can't keep complaining. So I really encourage you to take steps and invest in Africa. Africa has a big need for investment, and that is why Chinese are there, Japanese are there. There's a big gap for investors. So I do know that the economy in the African American community is stronger than the Africans in the Africa. That is why most of us came to the Americas. But we need to get what we came for and go back and invest back home. So we Africans should become conscious of the struggles of the Black community wherever they are. Remember, we do have our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. We do have our brothers and sisters that were taken over there. So it's not just the Americas. There was a lot of our Africans, brothers and sisters, that were taken to the Central and South America. So there's a lot of us out there. So remember, the oppressor will always find a reason to divide us. And they have made it possible that we don't do trade together. So we have to realize that. We have to read between the lines. We have to understand why they took out most of the people that were waking us up, because they did. And you know that. So we are all at the bottom of the totem pole. Remember that? And they've done that on purpose. They have made sure that they use the brown people in between by giving them loans and giving them their finances to start up businesses. Like in America, if you look around, most gas owners are from the Indian community or from the Hindu community. If you go to most of the hotels, you know, the chains of hotels, they're not owned by Black people. So they have given finances to the brown people, and we have been forgotten. So it's like two against us, one. So we have to understand that the economies are all against us. But if we unite, we shall be stronger. Why? Because we are the majority in the world. Remember, Africa is bigger than the US, almost 3.1 times. Africa is bigger than the United States, more than 3.1 times. So you can imagine that. So remember that laws have been passed for everyone but Black people. So there's a lot of laws that are being passed day and night in favor of other communities except us. So we should continue to struggle and fight and unite, because united we stand, divided we fall. So I would encourage you to plan to travel, study, and educate yourself on your history, our history, and for the African Americans, I would really encourage you, if you plan to go back to Africa, network. Find a way to network with somebody in Africa or an African of a country that you're interested in. For example, if you are interested in going to Ghana, that is simple. You can just go to ouraddi.org and fill out the information. If you're interested in going to Tanzania, I have told you about the Exodus House. Go to her channel and she gives her contacts over there. If you're interested in going to Kenya, go to Dr. Mumbi's channel and contact her. She does have a Patreon page, but you can contact her on her messenger on Instagram or on YouTube. And if you're interested in going to any country at all, Wodemaya travels everywhere. You can contact him and he can help you with that. He has a lot of followers, so it might not be easy to get back to you quickly. If you go Black to Africa, he is well traveled, and also he's a veteran. He was in the military, so he is well traveled. He also understands a lot of our history and is well knowledgeable. So you can inbox him and ask him questions about countries that he has visited or his experience. He does post a lot of his experiences online, and he's very honest. If he doesn't like a country, he'll tell you. He says, this is the things I found over here, and this is what the government needs to do. So whichever country you're interested in, if you go online on YouTube, you're going to find information. So always inbox those people and they can help you with any information. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment. If you have any question, you can write a comment. I'll find it and I will give you direction on where to look. Personally, I haven't traveled to many African countries, actually. So I may not be experienced enough to educate you on other countries. But I can always refer you to somebody who can help you with a particular country of your choice. Number one thing is always have a passport. If you plan to visit any country, get a passport. Okay? So when you find a passport, then the other things you can start asking specific questions about the country you're visiting. The other thing is, if you plan to travel abroad, don't go there thinking to go find a job. So because the job market is not very good. Think about it like you're going to invest. That means that you have to have your finances in order. My advice to anybody is to always create passive income. Find a way to earn passive income, whether you're working or not. And the best way to do that is anything you can do online. That way you can continue doing whatever you're doing online, wherever you are. It doesn't matter as long as you have internet connection. So you can be able to continue earning income. Or you can set up a business back home. But make sure that you have saved enough to take care of yourself for at least 6 months. So that is the advice I would give you. Get your finances in order, get your passport, and start networking. And also connect to the channels of your interest. I would really suggest you go to Wodemaya's page, connect over there. I do invest in cryptocurrency and I do train or give my insights on cryptocurrency, and I'm also farming. And as time goes, I'll be sharing my experience in farming and what I'm doing back home. And maybe for those Africans or Kenyans that are interested in farming, you can ask me questions, or you can get inspired into doing what I'm doing, or to think along those lines. Remember, at the end of the day, all the wealth in the world lays in Africa. So you got to get a chunk for yourself before everybody takes a chunk for themselves. Also remember, our ancestors died for our land, fighting for our land, because it got taken from them and they had to fight it back, and most of them died fighting for it. So if we don't do anything to get our land back, if you didn't get an inheritance from your parents or from your ancestors, well, you can always buy land. So I would encourage you to get a piece of land. If you're not ready to develop it, at least own it. That's all. And I did send a video where I explained to you what to do about purchasing land, the things to do and the things not to do. So go look for that video, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck. Bye.